This is a house. This is an alley. These are villagers. This is a chicken. I feel like I've lost my train of thought. Anyway, villagers will live in this alley, but the alley needs buildings. So first things first, let's build some. Okay, so as you can see, we have made a massive amount of progress there. Got two brand new buildings. So this side, pretty much done now. Got a little archway going through into another area, which we'll look at in a minute. But this building, what I'm trying to do is try and make my life a little bit easier by repeating some of the patterns. But we don't want things to be too repetitive, obviously, because we're going to see that a mile off and it's just going to look boring. But to do something brand new every single time, that's going to be really difficult as well and very, very stressful for me. So doing something like this where it's similar, especially on the bottom layer, and then we can do something a little bit different as we go up, just makes my life a lot easier and it's so much easier to plan out and think about. So this building is fairly similar. I've used the terracotta again, but instead of the white that we had on this one, I've gone for the orange because, as we know, I have an absolute ton of orange terracotta, so I basically need to use it up. And then this bit, slightly narrower than that one, but this goes back a lot further. So this will come out onto the other side, which again we'll have a look at in a minute. And then, yeah, interior's not done yet, but, you know, we'll get there. And then for the roof of this one, I tried to go for something completely different, just to change things up a bit. And we've got the warped wood with the deep slate bricks around the edge, which I think looks pretty good. And then at the end, we've gone for something very different, both in shape and in the palette as well. So this, I've been watching a lot of Blue Nerd recently, which, if you watch him as well, you probably have guessed that already, because this is something straight out of his book. And you know what? I love it. I love this kind of style. So I'll be doing a lot more of this. And at the bottom, we're going for deep slate instead of the brick, just to break it up a bit. I'm not 100% on this, but, you know, we'll go with it for now, because I think it's starting to grow on me now. So if you just come through here, through all of these buildings, we can get to this back. And this is more of the main street. So I've got an alleyway through there that we've got made out of the brick and granite. And this, more grey, this is going to be like one of the side roads. So down here, this will be the road that goes next to the church, and then we've got a little pathway that comes down here into the buildings, just to separate off a little bit. And yeah, little garden at the back. Again, this is very Blue Nerd, this thing. But I think this is coming together, and I really like it. But we're not done yet. We've got a lot more buildings to get in here. I've started planning out some of them. As you can see, this is quite grey down here, but there's going to be a lot of other cool stuff on top. I've taken a break there because there's something else I want to get. Even though I've got an absolute ton of most building materials, as we know from when we brought everything across to the storage area, there's something else that I want, and that is dark prismarine. And the recipe for dark prismarine, if you don't know, we need to take an ink sac, turn it into black dye, and we surround that with prismarine shards. And that is how we get dark prismarine. So it's quite expensive, because it's one ink sac per one block of dark prismarine. So that's quite challenging. The good news is, we have the prismarine sorted. We do have an absolutely crazy guardian farm, and we've got an absolute ton of prismarine, so that's not a problem. The problem is the ink sacs. we do have a few. We've got a little bit in here. And then I also have a few stacks in a dye box. Yeah, so I've got 4 stacks in there as well. So it's not terrible, but that's only like 6 stacks dark prismarine. Not even that. So definitely going to need to get some sorted. So what we're going to do today is build a squid farm. And it's a really, really easy one. It's an adaptation on something that Logical Geek Boy did. And I've built his version of it before. And I'm going to do something very similar in this well. But before we do that, we should probably just have a look at this. So after I did all that building, I just felt like doing something a little bit technical. So I built a sugarcane farm down here because this is the only sugarcane I had. I was running low on rockets, so I went to craft some up and I couldn't find any paper anywhere. I only had the sugarcane that I had planted down here. So I put this little thing together. It's not massive, but this is a modular design by Tango, and I'll put a link to that tutorial in the description if you fancy having a go at building that yourself. But if you watch my Rumble series, you'll probably have seen this before because I've built 2 crazy versions of that in both seasons of that series. But this one isn't staying here. I don't know exactly where my sugarcane is going to go. I'll probably put one in the Witch Hut perimeter eventually once I get that area sorted. But for now, this will just keep me in a little bit of paper. Okay, so I suppose I should get some stuff together and we'll get on with building this squid farm. But I will just take a moment to say, if you are enjoying this video, please remember to leave a like. It really helps. Okay, so I've got some stuff in here, ton of glass, ton of obsidian, bit of wood to make some boats, water obviously, because we need something for the squid to spawn in, and then tons of hoppers and chests, because we're going to get loads out of this, so definitely need a lot of storage. And I've also grabbed some iron, because I want to take a beacon, but I don't have any spare, so I'm going to have to grab one. I've also grabbed one of my many shulker boxes of orange terracotta, so I thought we'd do a little bit of building out of this, and I'm cooking some up as well into the glazed terracotta, so I'll take that once it's all cooked. But I'm going to go steal a beacon from outside and I can explain what I've done. So I did have, on this diamond beacon up here, I did have this as haste 2. But when I was doing this building, I needed to go get some deep slate. And the problem is, with the way beacons work, this didn't reach down to the surface. So as you can see here, we have another beacon beam. And that is down at the new bedrock, down at -64. So long way down. So this one, I've changed into jump boost 2, which is really handy when you're doing these big tall buildings like this. Being able to jump 2 blocks is unbelievable how quickly you get used to it and then you can't go back. But on saying that, I am going to steal this because I'm going to take this over there because we do need to do a little bit of digging. So I will pull that back, but for now I need it. And the other thing you see in here is eggs, because I do need to get 4 chickens, but these are all the eggs I can find. So hopefully if I go back to my village I might find some there. Alright, so back in the starter storage area, I've cleared most of this out, but I probably did, there we go, did leave a bit of junk behind. And hopefully in my start house as well, we might have something. Please be eggs. No. Oh yes, oh look at that, brilliant. Right, okay, I wasn't expecting that in there, but that's great as well. And let's finally have a look over at the barn. Ow. And see if I've left anything down here. There's probably just a load sat on the floor, isn't there? Is there any in here? Yes, take those. I know this may sound excessive, but I do need to get 4 chickens and I don't want to have to come back for them. Okay, so we're now over in the Badlands, and this is where I'm going to be building my squid farm. So, why the Badlands? Normally, you see squid farms built in a desert, because there's only 2 places where squid can spawn, and that is in the sea or in a river. And look at how fast these are spawning. This is definitely helping my point. So, in the sea, very hard to farm, because you can't concentrate the spawns in a particular area. What you need to do when you're farming something is get them into one area, and then make sure that everywhere else where they could possibly spawn, you remove the conditions for them spawning. So in the case of squids, we just need to get rid of the water. And in the Badlands, when you have rivers like this, and this is more for the pre-1.18 world generation, you can often see rivers like this, where this green part down here, this is all river. But because there's no water, you won't get any squid spawning. And I have explored this a little bit, and as far as I know, there's only a couple of bits of water that I need to get rid of. So that makes my life very easy. I think there's a little bit down around that corner somewhere. And I think if we come over here, we need to get rid of this bit. Okay, so we're getting a lot of squid in here because there's not a lot of water on here, which is brilliant. So the other thing we need to do to make a really efficient farm, apart from concentrating the spawns here, is either kill them quickly or get rid of them quickly so more can spawn. So that's why we have this obsidian in here. So what we're going to do is build 3 really big nether portals that cover the whole area that squids can spawn. So this is the top layer here where the water's going to be, and then we'll have the top line of obsidian at this height here, and this is going to go down to Y49 because the bottom layer they can spawn at is Y50. So we're going to have the water from between 64 and 50 in between these 3 nether portals, and that's it. They'll go through to the nether and they'll fall on some hoppers and die. It's basically that simple. So there is a little bit of a trick that we can do. That's why I've got all those eggs and the boats, but the first step is getting all this prepared. So I'm going to get rid of all the water, do a little bit of digging, and get the nether portals in. Okay, and a short amount of time later, we have this all done. And as you can see, I've tied up the walls as well, which I don't normally do, but you know, I've got a ton of orange terracotta, so I thought, why not use it? So I've got all this dug down to the right level. I've got the nether portals in, we just haven't lit them yet. And then we have a little area down here where we're going to AFK. So I have a little storage area just to the left where I've been digging everything out. It's all my random junk. And then down here, I've already set up the portal, and this is the one that I will use when I come here and stand just in this spot, because this is where I'm going to AFK. This is 24 blocks away from the closest nether portal, so that means that they are going to be able to spawn in there, and I'm not going to interfere with that. Once these are lit, they'll go through into the nether, and they'll end up, at the moment, at where this portal links to. So what we need to do now is fix that, and set up the other portal where the squids are actually going to be teleported to. And just for reference, this is where this squid farm comes out. So if we just look down there, that is the portal that goes to the Badlands area. And the one right down the end, that's Quad Witch Hut, so we're not far away at all. But what I've done, rather than just going straight across like I originally planned, I've come down a little bit. And the reason for that is, I don't exactly know what I'm going to do for a nether hub around here. But I'm thinking, if I open all this area up, I'm not going to want this big ugly squid farm in the middle of it. So I've put it down below so we can cover it up if we ever do anything like that above here. But for now, let's have a look at this. So this is the portal I've just come through that we're going to use when we go through to AFK. And then down here, we just need to put another portal in, and that's where all of the squid are going to come through and die, and we'll clear the drops. And that is going to be this one here, because I'm 24 blocks away, which translates to 3 blocks in the nether. So if we put a portal right here, and get this lit, and all the ones on the other side lit as well, they should all come through to this portal. So I'm going to do this now, and give it a test, and then once that's done and I'm happy with that, we can get the rest of it finished. Alright, so at the moment, this will go through to the same one, but right, the staircase is the one for the AFK, so let's remember that. Let's just go through here. So it's linked to that one, which is fine. And then if we get all of these lit and go through them all, it should go to that new one. So let's do this. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. And let's do the furthest one away first. And that's gone through to the right one. That's good. Now if I go through this, I should go to the middle one, because that's the one that I've done the coordinates to. Is that right? Yeah, we're in the middle there. Which side am I at now? I have no idea. Alright. Beacon there, so that means I need to be at this one, which is the closest. I haven't done this one yet. So this is the one that could be a problem. Could go to the wrong one, but let's see. No, that's gone to the right one as well. So that's great. So once the squid come through, all of these, definitely going to work. Brilliant. Right, so in here, what I'm going to do, we're going to block this bit here. I have got some glass on me, so let's do that. So I'm going to block this off with glass, and then 2 blocks either side of this portal. We're going to dig down, and we're going to have 2 blocks below as well. Like, I think 2. Yeah, that should do it. So we'll go like that, and then we can set up a collection area down here. So we're just going to have some hoppers all the way along the bottom. So yeah, we'll go down 1 more block and put those down there. So the squid will have plenty of room, because there's going to be an absolute ton of them coming through. So the other thing we need to do is a little bit more challenging. So what we need to do is get 4 boats inside the nether portal with chickens inside. That's right, I said 4 boats with chickens inside. Okay, so as you can see, we've made a lot of progress. Got a ton of orange terracotta in here and a few sea lanterns just to brighten the place up. And this is all pretty much done now, so we just need to get these chickens in. So why am I doing this? Why am I putting chickens inside this nether portal? Well, imagine what's going to happen when these squid come through here. More than likely, they're just going to sit on that obsidian, die there, and the ink sacs will just fall on top of the obsidian, which is no good. The hoppers can't do much about that. Now, there is a fairly fancy way of doing it where we could put hopper minecarts inside the obsidian, but there's a much easier way. What we need to do is force the squid to jump out of the portal. And the way we do that is by putting entities inside it that will just push the squid out as soon as they come through. And the easiest way to do that is to stack up boats, but you need to have them at the right height. So there are a few mobs you can put inside them that'll let you do this. And the easiest one, I think, to get is the chickens. I think you can use cats and foxes as well, but, you know, that's a lot more difficult. So I have a ton of eggs. I have 4 boats. So, yeah, it's a bit of a grind. But I just need to start spamming these eggs. Get them down into there. And then we can light it. And all good. So, let's get a chicken. We'll do the first one together. And I'll just get the others done. Oh, no. I need to wait. I need to get them to grow up as well, though. I forgot about that. No, I can get them in a boat first, guy. What? Right, why are you on there? Should probably block off that end. Could you? Should have brought seeds. Sorry, I haven't thought about this, have I? Right, can you go in there? There we go. Right. So, we can put the first one down. And let the others grow up, I think. So, let's just do this. Right. It's easier to do this in this view like this. And you can get them right in the middle. And the reason we've got the dirt there is because the boats are more than 1 block wide. So, we need to... If we put... Actually, let's turn on the hitboxes as well. We can see... That's pretty much in the middle, isn't it? I think we're there. Yeah. So, we'll leave that like that. Right, why are you spun around? Anyway, what we can do now, we'll take out the obsidian, break this portal. Oh, that was bad. Come on, you get in there. Try this again. Alright, I think that's about right. So, let's try that again, and not break that portal. Will you stop turning it around? Right, so at the ends like this. And then... this one, and if we just get rid of the dirt on both sides, that chicken will gracefully fall down there and be stuck in that portal. And then once we put the top obsidian back, we can light this, but not going to do that just yet. What we'll do, I'm going to get a few chickens in the boats, we'll let them grow up, and then we can get them down there. Definitely should have done this before I decorate, shouldn't I? Never mind. Yep, there we go. Right, you go over there. Temporary holding area. That's 3. Oh, I've got one more than I needed. Alright, never mind. Right, stop running. Come here. At least I've got a spare just in case something goes wrong. Why, you get in there. There we go. And one more. Right, what I don't need is 2 of them to get in one boat like that. That's what... Anyway, it's alright. Actually, no, it's not, because I need to get in there, do I? Right. You two, annoying. Thank you. Right, you going down. Right, so they're all in one now, so I need to... Sorry, you need to go. There we go. Right, so we have 4 chickens in boats. We just need to wait for those to grow up. And we can get that done. Okay, so what seemed like forever, we now have 4 grown-up chickens. So let's get these down there. Oh, that was not what I wanted to happen. We might just have to go over 3 for now. I'm not waiting for those again. Alright. This time, we're going to do it properly. We're not going to touch the boat. Right, you go down there. That's 2. Okay. Yeah, the other chicken is in that, but... Oh, what a pain. Right, let's do this again. Okay, so last one in there, and hopefully that should do the trick. I'd prefer to get another one up there, but we'll see. If we do have a problem with squids getting stuck on this top one, we'll put another one in. But for now, we should just be able to do this and light it. Hopefully this will work. There we go. So we now have a lit nether portal with those 3 boats stuck in there. So we can seal this up now, and that is everything we need to do at the nether side. So the rest of it, we just need to get the water in the overworld, and that's it. We're done. So let's go do that, and let's hopefully get a ton of squid. Okay, so hopefully this bit will be much easier. Won't mess this up. Right, so we want the water at this level here. So what I'm going to do is put some dirt at this level, and just do this all the way along. Stick the water on top, and break the dirt, and then it'll be flowing all the way down. Because the great thing about this is it doesn't need to be water source blocks all the way down. Just flowing water is more than enough, and then squid will spawn. And that'll be it. So let's get this done. Do the water at this side first. Now we need to be really careful that we don't do it in there, because that will break it and you'd need to get rid of all the water and start again, which I have done that before. Definitely got that wrong. So hopefully this will go a lot smoother. And take the dirt out. Actually, before I do that, let's just grab a couple of buckets so I can do the other side. Alright, so that's one done. Right, so that's the easy bit, that's all water in. And we'll just cover it up with glass. No particular reason, don't need to do this, but, you know, might as well keep it all contained. And now, that is it. So what we can do is, we can seal this up for the minute, just keep it safe. And what we need to do is stand over here, about this point where the torch is. This is going to be the perfect spot. So squids should be spawning now, and going through into another, and dying. So we can go through now, just to see if we've got anything. But I will do a proper test in a minute. Alright, so as you can see already, absolute ton of squid. That is ridiculous. That was just a few seconds stood there. That is mad. Look at this! Right, so this is all the stuff that fell through, so I'll just grab this. And then once this lot starts suffocating and dying, we'll get the squid. So that is unbelievable. I can't believe how many there are already. So are there any stuck at the top of there? There aren't. So those 3 boats might be enough, but we'll see. As I said, that was only a few seconds, and look at that. Look at this. What's that? 42 in just a few seconds. So I'll take those out. And what I'm going to do is go back through. Not that one. Go back through here. And what should we do? Should we do 5 minutes? So I'll set a timer for 5 minutes. Starting now. And we'll see what happens. Okay, so time is up. Let's see what we've got. Oh my. Yes, yes. That. What is going on there? No, right. Let's. Oh well. Yeah. Yeah, this is good. Whoa. Oh, look at this. Now, we'll get a few fish as well. I'm not bothered about that. But look at this already. I've got more ink in this last 5 minutes than I've got in my storage area at all. And remember, I've been playing this world for nearly 2 years now. This is more than I've got in 2 years in 5 minutes. That's madness. Wow. Yeah. This is a good farm. This is going to be good. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to AFK for a little bit. Get these chests filled up. And then I can take it over to my guardian farm and craft out some Dark Prismarine. This is going well. I like it. Okay, so it's the next day for me now, and I have been AFK a little bit, but as you can see, I got bored of just standing around, so I did a little bit decorating. And yeah, it's mainly orange terracotta and the glazed orange terracotta. I'm really liking the feel of these things, which is good, because as I've said a few times, I need to use up this stuff, but I do really like it as well, so that definitely works. And yes, I have already been across to my gardening farm once, and got a load of Dark Prismarine, and I do have my little storage area down here. I do have a bit more in there as well. So I can take this back across the city and do a bit of building with that, but I do want to get some more. I have cleared out the chests in there, and I did actually add 2 more as well, because it's just ridiculous. I have 3 double chests of ink sacks, and a little bit more. I'm going to fill up these shulker boxes, take it all across to the guardian farm, and we can craft up a bit more Dark Prismarine, and I'll show you what I've been doing over there as well. This thing is absolute madness. Look at it go. So yeah, I added in 2 more chests, because these were just filling up in such a short period of time. I can AFK a little bit longer with the 4 of them, and then just take everything through to the other world. Okay, so we're over at the Guardian Farm storage, and as you can see, I have got a full double chest of black dye, converted all the ink sacks into that, and that has filled up all the hoppers and the dropper as well. That's going to throw that out to me, and I've got some Prismarine shards waiting, ready to go. The Guardian Farm is running, so we can top this up, and I'm ready to do a little bit of crafting. So all I need to do is flick this lever, and I should get the exact amount of stuff I need to craft up the Dark Prismarine. So I'm just going to empty out my inventory, and then I can do this, and I'll get back over there. Guardian Farm is running. It's not great. It's definitely a lot of lighting up to do. Now we're in the 1.18 update, and we've got all the new caves underground. We've got a lot of lighting up to do, but I have been doing a bit, so we'll have a look at that in a minute. I'm just going to have a bit of a craft of this. Now, I do need to do a bit of rewiring for this, because this works really well for the sea lanterns, but for the Dark Prismarine, I have done it slightly wrong, so I'll always end up with 8 more Prismarine shards than I actually need. Or 1 less ink sac, however you want to look at it. But it's just something to do with this repeater here, I think. So I will figure that out at some point. But for now, you know, having 8 extra Prismarine, not a big deal. Okay, so I've been busy crafting, and I have a full shulker box of Dark Prismarine, which is great. And a little bit more. And as I said, 8 shards left over, but, you know, no big deal. I may get that fixed at some point. Okay, so let's have a look at what I've been doing after I grab my gear, obviously. As we need to light up all the caves, what I've been doing, aside from adding a little staircase in down here, because getting up and down was getting a bit annoying, I have added these shafts going all the way down to bedrock in each of the 4 corners inside the farm. And from there, it's allowed me to see where a lot of caves are, and there are a lot, and they're very, very big as well. They're absolutely huge, and I have been lighting these up a lot with sea lanterns because why not? And this goes all the way down to bedrock and into the four corners. So this isn't a great example, this corner. Yeah, this is the madness I was talking about. Look at this. This is crazy. So yeah, as you can see, sea lanterns everywhere. Really trying to get this sorted so we can get some great rates going in the gardening farm. But this is not going to be done overnight. So I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to get back to the city and get some building done. Okay, so back in the city, and it's time to get a bit of building done. So looking at this, there's still actually quite a lot to do, isn't there? My main priority, first off, is I want to build a house right there where my storage area is. Because that, oh, rain, go away. It is actually just at the end of this main road. So when we're coming down here, up this road, this house is going to be like the main like focal point. So I definitely want to make this look good, and I'm going to use some dark prismarine in here. Try and make it look really fancy. And then the storage area will be beneath it. So we'll still be using this as it is for now. And then rest of the street, I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing. This one here is going to be like another one of these types of houses. I think I'm going to use a different colour terracotta here, maybe red. And then we'll have a few fairly simple buildings, but we've got another diagonal one here, so it may be something like this, but we'll see how it goes. This one on the end, fairly simple, just a slight diagonal again, and then two rectangular ones at the end, so these should be fairly straightforward as well. I definitely want to try and get these done today, but you know what, we'll see what happens. So for the final time today, let's jump into a time lapse and get some building done. Okay, so we now have a complete alleyway, and I did get a bit carried away there, did way more than I thought I was going to do, but very happy with all this. So before we go on there, let's have a look at this little building that I've done over here. So this is just to cover up the storage area basically, and I quite like it. This is the only place I've used the dark prismarine so far. Yeah, I think we need to say that this is like our main base while we're over here, so that's why I've used it on this one. And then in here, not a lot going on, still the same storage area, haven't blocked that off or anything, and this is the only building where I've really done an interior. And when I say interior, I just mean layout wise. I haven't put anything in, there's no decoration really, but we will get that done. And then just a bed and an ender chest on the top floor. Down here we also have a side door that goes out onto what is going to be one of the main roads up to the castle. If we go down to the end, we can see the buildings that we got done. And this was the first little one, and this was just a tiny little thing that just goes between these two big buildings that we've got here. So nothing inside yet, got a little staircase and nothing in there. So these are all going to house villagers eventually, but don't think we'll have time to do that today. But we do have plenty of space. We've got 3 floors in this one. We'll have them everywhere in these houses, and we'll have loads of different trades. I just thought it'd be a really interesting way of doing it. And then again, tiny little one just on the end to fill up some space. Slightly bigger one here, and again, no interiors, but we will get there. And then this was the last one I did. And this, again, is another copy of the style that we did earlier. So we've got the white terracotta and the orange terracotta. And then this one is the red. And the layout is pretty much identical to this first one. And the roof, a little bit different, but all I've done is combine the two. So this end of it is the same as this one, and then the other end of the roof is the same as this end of this building here. So just taking elements of each one, just so we don't have to think too hard, but it keeps things varied but also consistent as well. So that's what we're going for, and I think that's working pretty well. So after we got all the buildings done, I started on some of the paths slash roads. So I've got this one going up here, and it's very simple at the moment. I haven't even done any texture in this one, because this is going to be quite tricky to work out going up this hill. And then we've got another one from the docks that are going to go up here to the castle as well. And yeah, so I did leave this one for now. All I really wanted to get done was this staircase that goes up there. And then after that, we came down here and did this, what is going to be one of the main side roads that goes across to like a residential area at the back over there. And I think this looks pretty good, nice and rough and well textured. So I'm trying to come up with like a different theme for the roads. So I've got the alleyway there, that's like a fantasy like brick and granite thing. And then the side roads I was thinking will be fairly rough like this. And then these red ones, which are the main roads, I need to come up with something different. So it'll probably be more well kept. So there'll be less like cobblestone and crackstone brick in there. But I'll probably use some like the smooth stone as well, just to really set them apart. But for now, that's where we are. And I think that is some pretty good progress for one episode, isn't it? And with that, unfortunately, I am going to have to leave it there. I've got a lot done, and this episode is probably getting ridiculously long. But if you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave a like. It really, really helps. And I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.